Howdy folks, we're back in Out of War for Season 6. It's going to be a short season. We're just kind of messing around on Coal Country, this new map that's all about coal. And we've got kind of some big machinery here. It's sort of large. That's going to be the focus of this season. We're going to see what it takes to run one of these solo, or if it's even really possible to do it practically. We've got a little bit of a start here, but it's this map is just all coal basically. If we pull the map up here, there's coal everywhere. We'll go ahead and set the rescue location, sure. So yeah, we've got that going on. If you're new, if you just happen to catch this video and you're not familiar with the channel, this is Season 6. There will be links in the description for all the previous seasons. I've done various things over the years. Season 3 was kind of like a hardcore start with just a pickaxe, and Season 4 concentrated on just building everything that we needed. And then Season 5 we went up to the Arctic and did a little bit of bagger, shovel, what are they called? There's baggers, and then there is bucket wheels. There we go, bucket wheel excavators. But now we're going to try the big boy. So we're taking the money. We made a bunch of money in Season 4 and a bunch of money in Season 5. We're taking all that money and bought this big boy right here. But if you want to see more general gameplay, there's plenty there in the playlist for your enjoyment. Go look at the bank. No, that's not what I wanted. Go look at company. Nope, somewhere it tells me that it was under here. Here we go. Company funds. So we've still got about 3 million in the company funds, and we got $1.5 million here on Season 6. So we're okay, but we spent a lot of money on this. It's like $37 million, something like that. So this puts out a ton of ore. In this case, it's going to be coal. How do we deal with that? Well, that's going to be the problem we're hoping to solve here in Season 6. We've got a little bit of a start here. We're going to need some power. Obviously, we're going to use coal power because that's what we got. I think I had any of that bought yet. Nope. So let's get a little bit of power going here. And we'll just go ahead and go with one of the big coal plants for now. Why not? We've got the money. I don't know how much power cable we're going to need. Right now, I think we just need one. And then that should get us started. Get back into the swing of things here with... Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I gotta remember how to play. It's been a little while. I thought you held down the left mouse button. Oh, it's right mouse button. There we go. I think you can do water to make this... Is it more efficient? I can't remember. There is a water input pipe. But where is the... So the power's on the back side. Let's go ahead and just swing this guy around. And we'll just kind of set it like right here next to this stuff. Like that. And then we just need to string that up there. And then we need some coal. Well, we'll bootstrap this because, you know, there is plenty of coal here. So let me grab like 10 coal just to get us started. How much does that give us for power? Probably not much. 100 liters. Yeah, that's going to last maybe a minute tops. That's okay. We will soon have a ton of coal. So I've got this set up. I put a merger in here just so we could power the thing. I do want to hook this up. I think I do want to hook it up to... I thought about not doing the conveyors. Do I want to do the conveyors? No, I don't think I will. I think I'll just steal coal from somewhere to power this. So my thought is having storage come off here, but I don't know if we're even gonna, you know, is it gonna fill the storage in like 2 seconds? There's gonna be a lot of experimentation here. Let me get 4 of those, maybe 6 of those. No, let's go 8 of those. I don't know what's gonna happen here. And then I think we do need to get these guys, like these kind of clip into each other, right? Yeah, I don't like that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter gameplay wise. Just for aesthetics, I don't want to do that. So let's go back in here to conveyors, and what we can do is there is a offset. So we'll get, say, one of those, say offset to the left, set to the right, and then we should have some space here. We have our storage guys all nice and spaced apart. And there we go. And then we have 4 of them. And then there's some kind of pass through. Turn pass through on. I don't know if that means, let's try this. So on this one, we're going to have these guys set to pass through. On the right side, we won't. And I assume that it'll end up here. I don't know what happens when this fills up and these are set to pass through. Something we're going to have to learn. So let's get some material going and we'll see what happens. This thing is such an absolute monster. So we're going to go into the focus follow cam. We're going to zoom in here. Goodness gracious. It does start with some fuel. You can see my little guy there right in the little cab. Let's see, it's G to start this up. Yeah. Then I do see that it is going into the hopper, so that's good news. Let's make kind of one pass across here. And we'll see where the coal ended up. We'll get ourselves set up for a big boy pass. I want to be just kind of skimming the ground there. I'm going to shut this thing off. Fuel's expensive. Whee! So now I need to go turn the power on. How much coal did we actually get in these hoppers? So we got just a little bit of it. 2,000%. And nothing in there. All right, let's go kick the power on for just a bit. It should pull that out once I turn this on. There we go. And again, this merger is just so I can hook power up to it more easily. Alright, that should be pretty well all pulled through, I would think. We'll give it just a little bit of time in case it's working its way down the storage containers. And then we'll turn that off. We used 10 liters. So if we look in here, okay, so the coal is there, and I expect no coal to be in these. Right, okay, that makes sense. So what happened over on this side? Did we end up with all the coal down here? 1338, and we got nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, good deal. So that makes sense. Now let's do some experimenting. So if you click on that, it'll pull all of that over. I'm going to turn pass-through on that one as well. And what I want to do is, I think, is it shift to take half? Let's send like 185 through, and let's see where that ends up. So we need to turn that back on, turn that back on. And then it looks like it's... Oh, it dumps it on the ground. Okay. That's kind of what I thought might happen, but I wasn't sure. Now we know. It will literally pass it through. Alright, that's enough science. Let's get to digging some coal. Although now we have all this. Oh, it's made like a perfect little donut. I should have checked. Put that in there. I wonder if I would get, a lot more than 185. Yeah, I think we need a front loader to clean that up. Clean up on aisle 2. Let's just get these right here out of the way. And I don't have any other equipment. I've got a truck. I was driving around a little bit because I spawned, I think, over here. I don't have any other equipment. So let's just get a small wheel loader. Just for kind of cleanup duty. And which one is it the L10? Which one's the one I I liked. Was it the L11 that's kind of the, was it the L9? You are 13 yards, you're 8 yards. I think it was the L11. Let's get an L11. I kind of like how this map is all pristine. Kind of a shame that got messed up, but that's okay. So if we go to equipment, paint, orange, we'll get this guy in the company colors. There we go. Some lights on. There we go. Nice big scoop, and we'll just throw this in the hopper. Get that cleaned up, and it'll be like it almost never happened. I am rusty. Haven't played for a while. Then we'll put some of this coal in the power plant, and we're going to run the big boy. See if we can even come close to keeping up with it. I'm guessing no. I did put the 10 times power on the conveyors, so we're going as fast as we can. Looking forward to the upcoming physics changes for the dozer and the grader. That will be awesome. Alright, that's pretty close. This last little bit here. We'll call that good. It's not perfectly smooth anymore, but that's okay. What job site is perfectly smooth, right? Alright, let's pull this thing on around, get it out of the way. Perfect. And then we will go to sell. We'll get rid of that. Our storage is back on. Okay, then we need to double check, pass through. And these guys, turn that on, and then this guy. Pass through off. Oh, we should light or something, turn pass through on. No, we don't want that. We want it on that one. These guys should still be on. Well, that's interesting. I thought, oh no, I'll have those all off, didn't I? Never mind. Never mind. All right, we'll put you in there. Turn you on. It should pull that in as needed. Fill itself up. Turn you on, and we should end up with coal out here at the end. And a little bit of dirt. Cool. And then we're eventually going to have some sorting just to sort out any dirt or anything. But this is just to get started and start experimenting. Let's see, for now, actually, let's throw the dirt back in there. So we will have some processing at some point. Okay, throw the coal in there. It can fill itself up, and let's make a big giant pass and see if we explode the hopper. So far away from the actual cab of this, we can't hear anything. There we go. It does make noise. Get back in the focus follow cam. Waiting for a giant mountain of coal to explode out of the hopper. So far, so good. Okay, there is one pass. We're a little bit high. I kind of wish you could set limits. Can you put... I don't think you can put GPS on this, can you? No. Yeah, we need some readouts so we could set the height correctly. But that's okay. All right, let's go see the damage here. Oh, it already emptied that out. Okay. I was looking down here on this end. Nice. So we can run for a while before we start filling these up. All right, let's hit it. We're going to have to track forward a bit. Let's go ahead and actually buy another hopper just right now, while we're thinking about it. So we go to conveyors, and we need the dual output hopper. Let's just go ahead and buy 2 of those. Let's preemptively stick those on here. All right, back into the beast. Switch to... Yeah, we're pretty much driving parallel. We'll have to kind of see here. I want to drive parallel to my hoppers. Let's get the tracks somewhat parallel to that. I might even have to set up some guide rails on the ground and see where I'm at. Let's try that. Get back into focus follow. There we go. We need to track forward a bit. That's right. Put sparking brake on. I think it's fast. Even on low hydrostatic, it's fairly quick for such a big machine. Do about like that. And it's all about just sweeping back and forth. Of course, once we get into the larger deposits, you know, the sweep angle will increase accordingly. How are we looking over there? We are just almost getting outside of the hoppers. Let's go ahead and move that back a bit. There we go. That's looking better. This isn't as noisy as I would expect it to be. It's kind of sedate. Uh-oh. We did overrun the throughput. Well, that's why we have the cleanup crew. Yeah, overran it. I think if I was back here, it'd be, you know, shoving into those. So we did overrun the capacity a bit. Okay, well, into here. And that's just the challenge of running one of these solo. It's not really meant for that. You're meant to have, you know, a whole bunch of dump trucks running a huge operation. Not one dingus running around. If you want to see this game, if you're new to this game and you want to see some large-scale operations, go check out Split in 2 Gaming. 2 is spelled out, TWO, Split in 2 Gaming. He has a bunch of videos of him and like 16 people running large mines, doing huge projects, so go check that out. I am just a solo guy. Whole different experience. Both can be fun. Oops, dug a little bit too far down. All right, that's somewhat cleaned up. I'll have to keep a little closer eye on it. I don't know if I need the parking brake on, but we'll turn it on. Alright, back into this beast, and then we go back to free driver cam. And let's move this up. So it's kind of pointed into this front one. Let's try that and see how we get along. Hit the wrong button. I don't really want to go over there and get into my office. I think that's all dirt anyway. So we will turn this off, parking brake off, and then track forward. Something like that. See how this goes. Oops. Of course, you have to adjust your offloading. We're too far from the hoppers. So quiet. I don't know why there's birds tweeting. There's no reason for birds to be out here. It's just I don't think the sounds are like specific to areas of the map. It's just map sounds. Okay, it's not a forest game. It's a mining game. Yeah, we are getting a little bit outside of the hopper there. So this is going to be a bit of a process. I'm wondering if I need like 2 rows of these. I'm thinking I do, and that means we're going to have to completely redo all this, which is why I hadn't built the rest of the processing stuff out yet. I think I'm going to want to go 2 rows. So let's get this cleaned up, and we'll work on making it more better. I don't think you can empty the coal out of these. I don't want to move this. Just grab what's there. We'll see if I can avoid moving the power plant. I should have built it further away in hindsight. That would have been the smart play. That didn't do much at all, did it? Oh, brother. There we go. That's a little closer to what I was wanting to do. I could also probably set these on like concrete pads. That might help with some of the spillage as well. All right, redo time. That's the wrong button. So we're going to pick all of this up. Except we're going to leave that one there. Let's get all this stuff moved down. We'll get that moved up. So we want... Oh, it's not going to let me put those 2 there, is it? Let me do... Well, let me do that. It won't let me do it the other way. Interesting. Okay, what if I put a straight on there? No, it'll only let me offset one this direction. Okay, sure. We'll do it your way, game. Oh, I did that wrong, didn't I? Whoops. I can't snap to that side for whatever reason. Yeah, that's going to end up being too far away. Okay, fine. I need my right hand. Right hand. I don't have any right hands. We'll get there. We'll get there in the end. That's going the wrong direction, isn't it? Okay, screw it. We're just going to start over. Redo. All right, we don't need those. So we had you, and then we had you. And we went into the big hoppers. It was offset the other. Autosave. Thank you. There we go. Okay, now that's back in the original position. I'll set this direction. It won't let me do that. Weird. All right. Then if we take this guy off, we can't offset that direction. So let's do that. And then it won't let me snap to there. Yeah, it just won't let me do that. Okay. No problem. We'll keep trying. Give me another one of those. Ta-da! There we go. All right, so we'll have a double row of those. Except now I need it to go out further, but that's okay. We'll get rid of this and we'll just hook it up with straight conveyors. Then we can have a dual row going in. That's the idea. Get rid of you, and we'll get rid of you. Go back to the merger. You in there. We need a 1, 2, 3. So we need a 4, which is an 8. Probably a. We'll hook up to that one, and then you can hook there. No, we're gonna need I forgot. That one's longer, not shorter. So we'll get another 8. Stick our little guy in there. That. Then we can get our power back on here. Some power input. Power cable. And we're back in business. We just need to add more hoppers on there as we move forward. And we'll save these parts for later. I think we can do that. We don't have to move the coal plant. Thought I turned you off. I did not, in fact, turn it off. Okay, dual output. 4 more of those. Let's see if we can keep up with it with the new dual line hookup. Also see how much power this is pulling nowadays. So if there's coal in here, it will fill itself up to 50%. That's why it's got all that in it now. And, oh, it's only 1100. Well, basically 1200 watts. We got plenty of power in reserve. Now we need to go back in here, get this thing fired up. And then how are we looking over this direction? Let's try it. We still have problems with overflow. I will try putting it up on like a concrete base. It's a lot of material spewing out over there. Yeah. Making some noise. Oh, crap. What? It overflowed. Okay. So if you overflow the belt, it also does bad things. Got it. Yeah, this is going to be a struggle. We're going to have to go slow, I think. Yeah, it overfilled at 24,000%. Just a little too much material, guys. Just a little too much. Just a bit. Well, let's pull some of that off. So the double will help us as far as hitting the hopper, but it doesn't help us with throughput at all. Easy there, Janky. So we can dump some of this upstream. We'll eventually filter down through. I need to dump it on the other side. I just don't have the reach unless I run around there. Which we can do. It's okay. We'll steer when we bounce. You know the drill. So, as you can see, it's a little much trying to run one of these solo, but we'll figure out a system. It's a $37 million machine. It's going to take some trial and error. Bonk. Is that even feeding out? Oh, right. Duh. These aren't connected anymore, so it's not even running this one. Derp. Derp, derp. I need another power input over there. Alright, power. So we need a 10x speed power input. Probably going to need a power pole. And we're going to need at least 2 wires. Yeah, this side doesn't have any power because I'm a derp. I can't put it there, can I? I definitely need another merger. Alright, I'm going to have to completely redo this. So we can get power to the other side. I forgot those aren't connected anymore. Duh. So, that work with the merger? That's coming in, and it would need, no, I'd probably need a splitter on this side. Yeah, that's not going to work because it needs to come, it needs to act like it's coming out. I would need a, do I have a right angle in here? No, I need a left. And I can put the power over here. And I have to put the power pole down because you can't have multiple wires. I don't think you can have multiple wires coming off of here, can you? Maybe you can. Too far, but I think you actually can. All right, we'll put a power pole here. No, you can't do that. Okay, fair enough. I thought that's how that worked. Alright, I need to click on here and say remove cables. These power poles can have multiple coming off of them, but the source at the coal plant can. There we go. Alright, that's convoluted, but we should get some power over here on this side now. Yeah! Get some! Oh, crap. I didn't think it would feed out here, but it will feed out here because it does have a place to go. Whoopsie. Alright, we'll have to redo this part. I need it feeding in and out like this one is doing. So, yeah, we're going to have to redo all this. To redo everything. I think I have enough storage space for all this stuff. Alright, let's get the loader, get this cleaned up. If I have to move the power plant, I will. It's not a big deal, but I think I can just run power poles. They're cheap enough. Get the magic floating coal picked up. Meanwhile, that giant machine's just sitting there burning fuel. Should have turned it off. Didn't take a good bite of that at all. So much for my nice flat area over here. Really should have put concrete down. Uh-oh. Fatal error. Awesome. I'll be right back. Okay, reverted to an autosave, and it was a little ways back. I hadn't even gone through all that cut yet. So I went ahead and went back to this single row of hoppers. Just simplifies things, and we're going to try that. I'm going to have to reposition the drag line. Sorry, the bucket loader. A little bit, I think. Let me hop in here. Let's try that. And I think I'm just going to have to go slow. I'm also going to have to go turn the power on. That's a thing. Do-do-do-do. You are already on. I need to turn you on. There we go. Nice and quiet up here. So I'm just going to have to be careful. Finish this cut and we'll see how much we have. All right, we'll let that process through. Turn that off. And I think that'll do it for this video. Next time we're going to work on processing this, you know, separating out the dirt. I want to have some way to kind of maybe set aside some coal. I'm not sure how that will work exactly. I guess I could just grab a bunch out of here. I just wanted some, so we have plenty for the power plant. Yeah, that'll work. So we'll work on getting a conveyor set up and some sorting and whatnot so we can actually just process this and start making profit. Get it sorted into a sell point and we'll go from there. We'll see how that goes. Thanks as always for watching, folks. Again, this will be kind of a shorter season. We're just going to play around with the giant bucket wheel excavator and see what we can do. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.